NSA. User data. You have 1.1 million users, billion. You have more data than any entity in the world. And it's all of our data, and we care a lot about it, and we don't want people necessarily getting it and then using it to do bad things. We know what Facebook has done over the last several months to try to help increase transparency. We've seen the lawsuit, we've seen those efforts, and I don't need you to repeat them, although I'm happy to talk about that if you want. What I want to know is what Mark Zuckerberg thinks about these issues and our right to privacy versus the government.
Yeah, so, I mean, we take our role really seriously. I think it's my job and our job to protect everyone who uses Facebook and all the information that they share with us. It's our government's job to protect all of us and also to protect our freedoms and protect the economy, right, and companies. And I think that they did a bad job of balancing those things here, right? So frankly, I think that the government blew it, right? I think that they blew it on communicating what they were, basically the balance of what they were going for here with this. So, the morning after this started breaking, there were like a bunch of people asked them what they thought, and the government's comment was, "Oh, don't worry. Basically, we're not spying on any Americans," right? And it's like, "Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's like that's really helpful to companies who are trying to serve people around the world and they're really going to inspire confidence in American internet companies. It's like, thanks for going out there and being really clear about what you're doing." So I think that was really bad, right? And we've been pushing just to get more transparency on this, and I actually think we've made a big difference, right? I mean, we haven't. The big question that you'd get from all the coverage is, so what's the volume of the total number of requests that are going on? Is it closer to 1,000 requests that the government is making of us, or is it closer to 100 million, right? And I mean, from the coverage and from what the government has said, you would not know the difference, right? But we worked really hard with the government behind the scenes to get it to the point where we could release the aggregate number of requests, and it was around 9,000 in the last half a year. And does that number tell us everything that we want? No. And that's why when the conversations kind of got to the point where we weren't going to make further progress, we decided to sue them so that we could reveal, is it 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 or 8,000 of the 9,000 requests. But the reality is, because of the transparency that we pushed for, now people can know, and I think they deserve to know, that the number of requests that the government is making is closer to 1,000, right? It's 9,000 or less in the last 6 months, and definitely not 10 million or 100 million.
It's not a dragnet with regard to grabbing data from you directly.
So we're not at the end of this. I wish that the government would be kind of more proactive about communicating. We aren't psyched that we had to sue in order to get this, but we feel like people deserve to know this, and we just take this really seriously.